and the stakes couldn't be higher. One team will be exiting their Masters run. Their attempt to get there in jeopardy. LewN, oh, he kept going aggressive and pays the price. FUT with the punish early and a 4v3 as a reward.
Yeah, quick rotation from the side of BBL. 2 players already in that site. Caught by the paranoia. Third looking to wrap back around. So the force will be a nice shot, at least from PROFEK, to do some damage. Jamppi picking up one as well, but it's yetujey to trade. Left all onto MAGNUM. Cypher versus Cypher. The first clutch needed within this matchup to take that pistol across the board, but there's still time to play with. That's the thing for yetujey. He doesn't need to overface this, doesn't need to risk it, but the same can be said for his counterpart.
There's plenty of time, but that camera gave the information over to yetujey. He knows that MAGNUM is towards the spawn, but MAGNUM waits long enough that he could have ramped up into heaven. yetujey has a decision to make. And maybe he's going to be no-scoping with that. I'm not too sure that I want to see that. We have a choice or not, remains to be seen. LewN has an opportunity here. He's seen the tip of their heads, but it's xeus. Jamppi, as a result, doesn't have a lot invested. Shock darts on their way. He gets a close range fight here. It couldn't be any better for the Stinger. Goes swinging through. A brave play.
It's going to be difficult for Sociable to get out of this scenario. In fact, it's qRaxs.
Right.
A 2-for-1 discount as he'll take down 2 of the remaining 3. Only MAGNUM left standing, and with the rifle in hand, there is a question of whether or not he should save, especially now after losing half of his HP. He stopped
down previously. We saw the longest game in history of VCT, the longest map, rather, and I think he ended up with 22 kills.
It was his worst performance of Tier 1.
Yeah.
Facing
of course, using that weaker weapon, he's going to hope to find himself that late lurk, that player getting aggressive. For now, nothing to be claimed by him, but his team have gotten the plant.
Waiting to see if anybody makes a mistake. Ultimate for MAGNUM. Single kill could be enough to reveal the rest, but clearly feeling confident in their retake. MrFaliN's lurk has been eliminated. It now just becomes down to the defenders on the site. Solid stun. In fact, they wipe them out, leaving just AtaKaptan standing and try as he might.
Good sign for BBL. 3-1. Defense heating up.
They've got nothing. Sure, there's a Bucky, but it's not in MrFaliN's hands, so I'm not particularly nervous for the opposing squad. qRaxs going in. No, he doesn't have it yet, but he gets his ult online from diving in with the classic. I don't know how this is working. The headhunter from xeus has managed to pick off another. And from literally nothing, there's now just one man standing, Jamppi, between a crazy upset round for FUT.
Starts with that AWP falling. The shot fired out, and FUT knew that they had an opportunity. Now here's the same old play. We just talked about it. Send that man out and around. The late play while they're looking in one direction, come in from the other. MrFaliN, he doesn't want the fight with the classic. He's got himself a Bucky, and he might be needed. Jamppi pushing down has already isolated one pick, but they're going to run that clock all the way down, knowing that he's going to be pressured.
So much to play with.
Off rip.
Yeah, immediate pop from MrFaliN trying to catch, and he has got a number of tags, but it's not like the rest are just sitting there now. Sociable gets an attempt on the other side, and he's going to immediately land the kill onto xeus. And with a response attempted by AtaKaptan, it's now a double up of a
both B and A from such passive positions, stacked up on C. Cypher utility there as well. It's a big gamble in the late round, and most likely we're going to be looking at a post plant. The question is, though, are FUT going to be happy with just that little bit of control, especially with the player coming back on mid? Probably someone goes aggressive. There'll be an opportunity for a pick, and if not, as you've highlighted, Rolling Thunder's online for the retake.
Yeah, they're just playing this one as safe as humanly possible. No need to overface, no need to take risks, especially when multiple ultimates have faded from this round for the opponent. They're not going to mind too much throwing in a couple of their own if it's necessary. For FUT, as of right now, they are kind of boxed in. They haven't managed to get any sort of aggressive positioning, and the rest will just be able to set up for that execution onto the site.
Nice reposition of the trap. They're worried about a flank. They only saw 2 players with the drone, but now they don't need to worry that much. Able to focus on pushing forward. That's the trade to start it off.
Okay.
yetujey does well. He's been heating up. and holding on to that long position. They still don't know about qRaxs. This is the missing factor. Out he goes!
That's something completely different. He didn't let go of mouse 1 in that whole move. He's just spraying all the time. That is absolute madness. As I said, we've never seen this man play the Neon before on this stage or any other. And that's all you really need to know. A lot of pressure put onto Magnum here. The only real defender. Solid stun. That will be a pick for them, and a rifle for Magnum, who's been their best player so far.
Stuck up close with that fight, though. Able to take one, trade it out, but that's more than enough for BBL. Information and a flank underway. The main thing being Cypher's no longer in the game on the side of the attack. Well, on both sides, I suppose. But that's opening up this flank route for LewN. He'll get himself a weapon. In fact, he's picked up the Stinger. Swapping out here would make a sound cue, and he doesn't want to give it away. He's going to continue sneaking his way up. Sheriff in hand, but his teammates are falling. He needs to hasten the pace. qRaxs, the last man standing. He was phenomenal in the last round, and he'll do the same.
This is where the guns come back out. Already, though, qRaxs is frying again. There needs to be a trade, and there will be. Magnum once more. He's thrived within it. And a lot of these rounds, but he's under pressure from that Neon once again. Dancing and diving, and as he tries to take the hat off head, he's lost. And in fact, so is PROFEK. PROFEK was just rotating, but xeus was far too quick on his reaction time. This leaves just 2 remaining, and well, they've struggled on the retake with an advantage of players, Mitch. How will they fare with less players?
Somehow I feel like this will be the one that works. But look at how FUT are playing it. They're up close, ready to swing. The trade found immediately.
Alongside the overdrive. So this man is he's in a toxic mindset.
qRaxs is straight into the fight, grabbing one and almost the second. LewN's up, good enough to trade out, but xeus is there to pull the advantage back into FUT's court. And now, even a dropout here for Magnum would be a huge risk. Hunter's Fury put through. A tag could get him to spam killed. Oh, it's the drop, in fact, and a big mistake is yetujey was unpressured.
It was meant to be a distraction, meant to be giving him space into the site, but yetujey was more than aware. And now for sociablEE and PROFEK, it again becomes an almost impossible retake to win. 4 players hone in. PROFEK's done well, but I feel like xeus has just been the trade machine. Not having to be that first player in anymore. That first contact means he could just focus on wiping out anybody that steps forward. And well, his stat line has been rising round by round. For sociablEE, I mentioned the heroic performance last time out. He might get one in this round, but the clock is surely too far gone. Just has to escape.
This completely into their favor. And a 9th round now, very much possible. Favored, perhaps. And a much more direct approach from FUT that's worked wonders. This site previously had so much utility waiting for them to walk into, but they swapped it to A. Now the retake attempt is what they're left with. Jamppi finds one, the weaker weapons, shining bright in this round. Almost as bright as that flash, but it doesn't stop xeus. He's good for one before falling. MrFaliN and yetujey have to take down the rest, and well, MrFaliN's got himself one, but the trades just keep on coming in. BBL finding their form at last, but is it too little, too late? Still yetujey. But as we saw, the stats very high for BBL's pistol win rates, and they'll find themselves the opening. This could be the course correction, get them back into the game, but xeus and yetujey, they're back up in here. The brawl won, the spike down, and the smoke from the attackers blocking them out of this site. xeus waiting for it to fade, and there's the info. They know where the split play is coming from, but the cage has gotten them the spike, and it looks like BBL could be up for a plant. They've split up, though.
Yeah, they've gone Scooby-Doo style, splitting up, looking for clues. And the defense have all grouped up together, just looking to play the advantage. PROFEK surely dead to rights, and this leaves Magnum again. Comes to this map, but this would have to be the best of them. Now, there is a slight split up. There's maybe an opportunity for him to find MrFaliN, but it's all going to be about the timing, and then has to almost hope they don't group up, and that's exactly what happened. Every single member looking to come around the corner. First goes his way.
BBL previously winning that Turkish derby, but it looks like FUT are back to set the record straight.
Yeah. FUT looking to do it when it matters most. That's the main thing. Doing it in the playoff stage. An investment here with the Stingers coming through for this attack side, and it's not started out too badly. We don't see the stinger pie much in EMEA. In fact, it's only really BBL that likes to run them massively. A good position, but it doesn't work out. And now xeus with every
much quicker rotation. Pressure is on, but they've got the numbers to deal with it on foot.
Waiting in the corner. yetujey there to start. This is going to reveal everyone as they go. This is definitely a problem. And while for qRaxs, it's easy pickings in the end. Even still, though, there's been a response. xeus sneaking around behind them, though. He was here the whole time. He was waiting for them. It's a little bit whiffy, but eventually gets the job done. And now all that is left is PROFEK to try and fight versus two isolated players ready to be a hero. The thing is, though, this site is completely open. They played off-site knowing that that Rolling Thunder was in play. And sure, it's been utilized, but to no effect. And they're getting ready to go straight back in. Look how close they are.
Yeah, already in. As the plant is going down, backside almost under their control, but PROFEK goes for the TP deep, catches one before falling, and sociablE with the double seams to, of course,
being able to see. Big difference maker.
Smoke is there, but unfortunately the TP's a little bit too close.
He looked away from the flash and got back to that shot so quickly, it's hard to even realize he got a kill.
Yes, but the problem is TP goes in. This is for a deep aggression. This was for deep control, allowing the pistols to stack in on the other side of the map. So when he TPs, he's not even inside the smoke. That's the ultimate out of play. And your one pick, it's reasonable, but in this round, it's not helpful for FUT. These pistols have to do a whole lot of work. We've seen them get that done before. qRaxs has popped the ultimate to great effect, but they're tagging him up as he goes, leaving AtaKaptan alone.
Use the free op. Yeah, that slows people, yeah. Oh, I guess. Ooh. Okay.
There's 3 players towards C, and only one of them can rotate quite quickly. The pressure is on for AtaKaptan, alone inside this smoke. Shock darts, shorties, everything coming his way, and it's LewN on backside to clean up. Jamppi grabs one, Rolling Thunder online, but it is not needed here. They've already got themselves.
In VCT history was played on Ascent. The close angle. I think even if he gets one here, he'll be quite happy with it. And there you go. That is MAGNUM dead to rights.
It's exactly what they need in this position. BBL coming in, Blade Storm activated already. That operator doesn't want to go through the smoke blind, and in fact doesn't want to go through at all. They're going to wrap this one back around, leaving the A site, but Cloud burst on C and try to drag those rotates. But for now, FUT are steadfast in their approach. They're sticking around. qRaxs falls, but still a lot to play with from this side. The ult even committed here from PROFEK. They really want them to leave the A site, but Tom, it has not worked. The whole body of FUT is still here, waiting for the peaks, and they get all of them.
Yeah, no, they were happy to basically
acknowledge that there's a chance BBL are trying to play off our lower buy, where teams often rotate that little bit faster. Still a buy for BBL. LewN with the opening pick, and it's qRaxs down in the dirt, but yetujey is the man that's been hard to remove from this site. He's put up numbers, and he's got it again. One found, helping out his teammates and grabbing yet another. He'll take the Hunter's Fury head on, but he gets the info for MrFaliN to play with, and the spike is down in front of him. It's all up to the IGL now.
2 players stand in his way. MAGNUM and sociablE. A potential map point on their opponent's choice, one that they had a very impressive first half, and what MrFaliN has been spotted to be around this area. There's plenty of time.
He knows now
to play with. More sociablE, even just looking to take
between these squads.
I was just gonna say, I feel like they are hitting into where yetujey is every single time. xeus has pushed mid. There's also been the move from AtaKaptan that's found him all the way into the window. He's just run straight down and then even has the ability to teleport out of there. The pure disruption from FUT as they get aggressive in mid in the early stages of this round has put BBL firmly on the back foot.
Big recovery needed. Weaker weapons not going to give them that much of an advantage. FUT have the numbers on site. They think they've isolated yetujey, and even if they had, that's a big enough challenge to take that man out. sociablE desperately low, and PROFEK coming to the rescue, but he's a little too hasty, runs right into the trap. And now it's left to the low HP sociablE. The rifle in his hand, credits in their back pocket. There's no point really in going for the save, but 1v4 not looking too likely with 40 seconds on the clock.
If he was healthy, maybe he'd have a chance, but just look at where the firing squad have FUT are currently sitting. He thinks he's revealed. And AtaKaptan was just such a nasty surprise. Like, I think they even put, they put the Hunter's Fury in just to create that for BBL. They're going to go running straight in towards that B side. MrFaliN already here. The Jet making his way past. And while MrFaliN in the corner gets traded out, but AtaKaptan goes huge.
I'll tell you what, his mouse is working now. That's a quick double up for AtaKaptan. And the round, indeed the map could be theirs as a result. He falls though, and MAGNUM pops up here and now when needed most. Another three-piece for MAGNUM, and they'll have another shot at OT, and there.
And just ground to a halt, maybe expecting that there'll be some sort of swing, some sort of peak, some sort of hunt for information. And now with the cages being thrown in, it did slightly bait those rotations back. qRaxs under pressure, paranoia thrown through, but they still hold the line at the back of the site. The wraparound coming in from behind though. Jamppi, PROFEK combining a kill apiece. AtaKaptan already here though, but he can't find a single kill. It leaves MrFaliN and xeus.
That judge is going to finish MrFaliN off. He's a madman with the bookie, but he's going to be mad once that smoke fades. Never mind. He survives the blast of the judge, and xeus comes in to help him out with the next. This round is far from over. MAGNUM still draws breath, the hero that has been there again. But not all who wander are lost. He has been paving the way for BBL. They get an overtime as a result, and now he'll be point of contact. They've stepped up to the plate, but it's MAGNUM who's hitting it again and again. He's got himself one. The second, though, proves to be too much. xeus dealing with him early on, and a new hero needs to be found for BBL.
He's been spotted under serious pressure, but it's only going to be the trade. PROFEK still here, needs at least one, and that's what's found. But the trades, again, from FUT are sublime. Immediate in their nature. And now the remaining players are so very far away. The Turkish members left on this Turkish organization, sociablEE and LewN, looking to try and give BBL the lead.
Trip broken behind. And the response from FUT is to go pushing deep into the spawn. It's yetujey dropping LewN. Now they've got the information to play with. They were 12 and 10. Multiple match point, or map points, I should say. And now it seems like they'll have another. The plant is perfect. The cam spotting him. And already the defuse halfway, but pressure not really on, with bodies still lurking around. The reveal still there.
Once more we see that aggression from xeus taking full A control, and the B take being attempted. The paranoia, the stuns are good, but nobody caught. And AtaKaptan is still in position. Even still though, LewN's taken one, but these trades, again, take it back and forth until yetujey gives that advantage. And now they look to play together.
He's fought them on both sides. Eyes now drawn in other directions, perhaps an opening for xeus to walk up behind. Players left of no traps to play with. Jamppi and sociablEE. Shock darts, recons regenerating. Jamppi's got a flash. Looks like they might get a little bit aggressive. Tap on the spike. Both players split too. But ultimately, they're not looking to take this site just yet. In fact, we may see them wrap all the way around. Right now, it's an information finding game, and FUT are giving nothing away.
Yeah, they're desperately trying to work out where these players are coming from, and FUT have just taken the time to group up into a unit. Take this as 3, and BBL have got nothing of what they wanted. They were hoping to be given a fight, and eventually they find it. But it's now left all onto the leader, Jamppi, in an attempt to try and save them. The man who has brought BBL to the playoffs now has to try and do that little bit more, and he's got a player coming up behind him, and yetujey will put this one to bed. A map on paper that looked like it was BBL's to lose, and FUT have come in with a nasty surprise.
When we saw this veto, Tom,
We get to see what's on the other side.
MAGNUM's the one to be challenged. His opening pistol was impressive. He managed to score himself a triple kill, but not this time. 2 barrels on the shorty, only one finds its mark with qRaxs down. Pressure put onto the B site, put onto PROFEK, and he's not able to rise to the challenge, but Jamppi is leaving them into a 2 versus 2. AtaKaptan tagged, and he goes for the sneaky spot down below. It doesn't work! A 30 bomb by the time we come out of that map. LewN is in danger, and he will not get out unscathed.
Only a Marshall lost. He was just trying to be a little bit cheeky with it. The shock. Put through the wall. I don't know if that was intended, but it hasn't delayed the opponents at all. And the only real battle I want to be watching is PROFEK. He gets another bite of the cherry and he loses just the same. AtaKaptan already starting to dominate that early battle. I think that's 3 in a row now for kills versus PROFEK, and this round is looking very clean indeed.
Oh yeah, there's no danger for FUT. A 5 versus 1. Magnum coming in, Spectre in hand.
Weapon here.
The only thing is maybe he can isolate MrFaliN, but that's open at the moment. The adjustment from BBL will be to push mid, but that's right into the waiting arms of FUT. But PROFEK, well, he is course correcting, decimated in some of those earlier duels, but now he's dishing out the damage, and it's AtaKaptan on the floor. A potential ace for PROFEK, and he's gonna go hunting it down. No frustration to be seen if he grabs this one.
You unlike this man when he's angry.
Oh no.
There are some players that almost seem fuel already online. There is nothing else other than removing that weapon from yetujey's hands, and he will find the fight. I think he's just spotted the pixel around it, and it
big smile on his face as he finds that final kill. Every battle he took here, precise, clean, and in these rounds sometimes you go, yeah, but Tom, they had a few pistols, you know?
My first ace in VCT.
yetujey found a gap in the previous round, even if it wasn't exploited, and he's almost done. Now he's stuck in the aftershock, has to face forward, but still manages to win one of those fights. But Jamppi comes back with a double trade.
He's going to be hitting his shots. Taking him down puts a lot of pressure on Magnum, and it could see the round switch into their favor. And in fact, even just sending him backwards could be enough. Magnum has to step up yet again, and he will find the first. The second player, though, could be his undoing. Will be, but LewN trades him out. Wonderfully done with MrFaliN all alone.
Time. That's the main issue. 15 seconds left on this clock for MrFaliN to try and achieve anything, and I don't think there's any world in which he manages to win this one. Does at least clear out the first. The second goes this way, but the time is gone.
No time.
All he has to do is hide, and well, thankfully, that's exactly what the IGL will do. This was very good, so they may not need a mass amount of rounds on this side.
But either way, they came in today, and they thought this could be the map that puts them with a leg up, that helps them bounce back from Haven if they do end up losing it. And from what we're seeing here, that OT went the other way. It could have been a death sentence. xeus, an aggressive play to pick up 2. And they've got themselves a lot of control now. Pressure onto Jamppi. Magnum on the other side of the map, and that's not the man you want to push into. It will be Jamppi that's challenged, and that challenge quickly sees a conclusion.
This is just another xeus round to add to the collection. And I think he had the perfect read on that.
All coming his way. Oh, but he's giving the game away.
Not
now
so
you'll just see him back off. That rifle carried through to the next. It's not needed. He can afford to go down. Every little helps at the end of the day. And you're not going to be getting very... MrFaliN, generational talent.
Yeah. Okay. A quick push up middle. Spike the last man in, which is a little bit dangerous, but they have managed to get quite far.
Reveal goes a little shallow. Could have found a lot of information on the site, but players still up on rafters undetected. They try to deal with him, and Jamppi steps up for 2. PROFEK in with another, leaves yetujey alone. After they find that successful bit of aggression, they try to replicate it at least in some way. That's why there's 2 players towards this side of the map, waiting for that aggression to come through on A. And yetujey at least able to trade out his teammate, trade out that showstopper 2. And having dropped 1, with LewN out of the equation, they seem confident in taking this towards the A site, but rotations have come in. Magnum started the round up in heaven. His trap still covering mid. He's on his way into the danger zone, really. He's the one at risk being the main victim of this split, but he's got another trap down in vent, waiting for this exact play. And he backs out as well.
30 seconds left.
Expecting a B hit.
Well, I think as well, you can kind of leave Jamppi because of that rolling thunder. He can try and push the full force of the squad back, and especially with the amount of time left on the clock, he's just trying to slow them down. He's been having a game. even has Magnum for support. That'll be the reveal on the remaining players. They know exactly where they are. The spam coming through, and they still need to plant, desperately trying to get into a Viper's pit. It's been online for so long.
Oh, it might not get an opportunity to be used. They dodged the ult. Magnum slipped into elbow then afterwards, but he's being put to bed. There's the pick. And Viper's on site. That deep pick can come into play right here and right now. There's a gap for Jamppi. I don't think sociablE's quite so lucky. And in fact, yeah, he gets absolutely nothing. The shorty from Jamppi. That's the end of it all. And for FUT, we know that they're capable. We know their defense can be strong, but we need to see
there he is.
Another level from them. Yeah, the 3K pistol god. Let's see if he can do it again.
They are walking in towards potentially the most dangerous man in yetujey. Working around that angle. LewN's already going to be there to stop, but they have no idea how much ground they've lost. Just walking straight into such a dangerous spot. It's a third map decider, the longest map in history last time out. And already a death-dealing blow to yetujey. He was phenomenal.
The call from BBL, making some noise on A. Mid has been overtaken, especially with Magnum dropping MrFaliN. It pulls this rotation off the B site, which is now wide open for the players that are lurking their way up through. It's going to be a free take with AtaKaptan dropping Magnum. sociablE spotted as well, I believe. I'm pretty sure they know that he's here. Paranoia used, but it's dodged nicely, and he's causing problems. He's buying time. But FUT have managed to equalize now in a 3v3 for the retake.
Jamppi's still only with the Spectre, but a full belt of utility to play with. LewN just making sure that he's not falling for the Durkaroos. He will just about manage to cling to life and then takes control of the spawn as well. That's another angle that has to be cleared for FUT. And that time now continues to tick down, already getting towards the spike, but PROFEK winning the duel when it matters the most. And now all that remains. So it really could be the smallest of rounds that makes the difference. That's not the start they were looking for. Luckily, PROFEK is still here to do the damage. LewN has managed to find one with the distraction, and Jamppi trying to flash back into position. The fact is, though, they are still looking to go in this same direction. But it seems like the play here from BBL is just play the retake of, wow, xeus has been caught while trying to cross.
The retake gets that little bit easier now, doubling up on the advantages.
Spike planted.
Cleared out Heaven already with the Prowler, and this is going to be their signal to group up. 4 players coming in together. Utility, not quite gone because you've still got those salvos. Those pesky salvos are causing problems. yetujey, not able to tuck in anymore. He's out in the open, isolated and beautiful.
Or the matchup is the swap up for xeus. It is the only change in composition, but I can only assume that is more of a comfort thing than anything else. Like, the guy really, definitely the highlight of the previous map. Their domination came through off some of his individual brilliance. Well, he's going to be under some serious pressure here, trying to just get up in their face and nothing found for it. And while an attempted push through from Jamppi is met with exactly the same fate, in fact, even a fadeaway shot for qRaxs to add another to the death toll. I think we saw this in the last map. A flawless, potentially on the cards, although there has been a timing for PROFEK. There's so many players still within this site. I'll be surprised if he's not expected.
I mean, there's something as well that we've seen from PROFEK. Going back to the previous map, he had a lot of patience in looking for those flank players. You can see he is very much expecting that to be the case. Yet again, that someone's trying to sneakily come up behind him. The recon gives away the game, though, and it's
hasn't been cleared just yet, though.
He will be. That nade still sends him out into the open. No way to fall back cleanly in the cloudburst, just a little late in landing. So he will be traded out at the very least. Jamppi threw this nade through. He gets aggressive. Wants to push his way up after not finding that initial fight. More passive approach. That mid position held down by sociablE. A site being watched by PROFEK. He's under a little bit of pressure if they were to walk
made the spot, but this now becomes more of a survival effort. Maybe in the hope that somebody will be able to get there in time. Just created a little pocket of space for himself. This angle is just in case anybody crushes to the side of the site, and that's exactly what it's done. Clever stuff from PROFEK, still surviving in the backlines. He's lasted such a long time. And that means that spike is still yet to go down. 10 seconds
left.
as the rest of the players will now start to move their way forward. Nice shot from MrFaliN, gets rid of sociablEE, but LewN's there as well, and he has to try and stick this. He admitted in the last matchup giving fake comms is hilarious. Beautiful flash. AtaKaptan now being pressured. A second flash through, and while it's AtaKaptan to win the battle versus the young duelist there again, after getting an opener, going to immediately react off the back of this. Now there's 2 players within the site.
Nice flash by xeus. PROFEK, though, still going. This smoke, we saw a similar one in the previous round, and it's bought them an advantage, or at least, rather, it's pulled it back into equal footing. The problem is, the advantage goes to FUT, as the B site now wide open. They've stepped in already. yetujey's closed that door, and MrFaliN has a free route down onto site. An open plant as well. They could play Boathouse.
Spike planted.
Move back towards main, where they've actually embedded AtaKaptan. A lot to work with.
Against the Teo, it's much more difficult to play that backside, play off those crossfires, because it can be so easily cleared by all of that utility information. Attempted to be found by PROFEK, but they still have to clear that backline. The dart does well, but more importantly, it gives the space to AtaKaptan. yetujey there as well, and now all that stands is MAGNUM. Nothing.
Surprised by him there, but he has rotated around to spawn as MAGNUM just takes a heads-up duel.
But there was a lot of util thrown in there. The salvos, and I think there was also maybe an extra little piece before, but yeah, that cross being held. qRaxs, no, it's not qRaxs to go down. In fact, it's yetujey to fall. They've also left LewN at the back of the site. xeus is trying his best to maybe create some sort of distraction on the other side, but he's now going to be tagged up as well. A lot of players ending up low.
There are problems being created, but the thing is, look at FUT. They need an individual to step up. Everybody's isolated. The idea to move towards the B side, it's the best one. xeus will be able to fall back. He has ult for the reposition, for the clearance of site, but they'll go in ahead of the clock. 40 seconds. Have some time to play with. Maybe hoping the backside is clear. Now they know it isn't. It's only a sheriff standing in their way, though. No shields even on LewN. He's in a lot of danger in this battle. The numbers thinning out. Jamppi goes down. 1 kill here for LewN. Would be wonderful, but hard to land up against the rifle of MrFaliN. BBL. They have recovered a rifle for sociablEE. They've got salvos online, but the advantage, again, goes to FUT. And the post plant on B will be tough to break back into. Maybe those salvos can force the players in the open. That's best we can hope for, but you got to get past xeus first.
Yeah, he also has dimensional drift, so if things get dangerous at any point, he can look to regroup, but it isn't going to be the case. Looking comfortable once again, and even going to use it just to clear sociablEE. You know this guy has been a real danger, just almost trying to ignore his opponent, who has every single piece of information. sociablEE's goal now is just to try and clear them as they fall out of the site, and it's only going to be the one. They've had some trouble around that short control, and yeah, already forcing them out of position. That paranoia has removed the danger of the setup. That's the issue of not having that sentinel over on the defensive side, is you need to have more of this aggression. Target selection not working out for PROFEK, and it's already falling apart. MAGNUM almost hoping for a bit of a miracle spray, because they have completely lost control of the site, and even with bullets being spammed through, nothing is found.
There was a moment where it looked like LewN was about to pop off. He was about to have so many opportunities with that operator. But once Jamppi goes down, FUT, they realize there's a weakness. Where LewN is right now. Time is ticking. They found a pick. Ult's going to be committed. They're going for this, even with LewN so far away. yetujey's had all the time in the world to wrap around, and he's about to execute MAGNUM from short. In fact, MrFaliN gets ahead of it, and the ult will be too late. They've already made it up short, and xeus corrects. He's given a lot of time to find his spray onto his mark. Jamppi's head ripped clean off. Ult no longer available. sociablEE's got his. He's on the wrong side of the map. LewN, though, manages to catch yetujey. That's cutting off their ability to go back to B. They've lost mid, they've lost the B site. But maybe just shoehorned into this A play, and PROFEK very much happy with that scenario. He's picked himself up a double. We saw him with a slow start over on split, but once he managed to hit a few shots, well, it was an ace that came right after.
Not wanting to overplay his hand. qRaxs has been spotted as well. No real need for the defensive players to fight too aggressively in this moment. qRaxs has been able to bypass the utility, and it seems like maybe even a plan to try and teleport into the site. It hasn't worked out, leaving only qRaxs remaining.
Position as A main is locked down. Jamppi again looks for that short control. This is where he was caught when he had just that pistol. He's called in for some backup as well. Flash thrown over. That was from BBL looking to force this fight on middle, but it doesn't go their way. LewN taken down, and now, well, I mean, they can even just wait this out. No control of A main pushes, but they've pinged it. Someone's going to be watching for that flank.
Where's the Armageddon
just
gonna
wait.
go? It's ready and raring. Like, sociablEE wants to try and place this. I don't know if this is to try and force them back into middle or force them forward. It's going to be that aggressive push from Jamppi. There goes the Armageddon, trying to trap them in the corner, but it's missed just by a millimeter. sociablEE has been able to pass, and MAGNUM checks the one angle that hadn't been cleared. A nice little set piece, leaving AtaKaptan alone to try and fight this back. You mentioned those mid-splits with late
Again, waiting for the Armageddon to come through. The timing, catching MrFaliN going for the recon. And then, as you said, there's a gap. Salvos aren't even thrown into that
more
gap.
awkward in the battle, and PROFEK trying to defend, but the paranoia is solid. It leaves both players completely blind, but there's been a counter. Lockdown also utilized by the attack.
Oh, the head spotted, but MrFaliN is the one walking away with a double. PROFEK gets in there just in time to cancel out the lockdown, but they've already gone in the other direction. And Tom, this is something you highlighted, the difficulty that you have when this B site, you know, we see a deep prowler go through, we see them lose control, but now they have to still cross. Flash used for that, but disadvantage. And this is the difference. FUT have either been on level playing field or with a massive advantage by the time that this pump fake came into the B plant. But now, they're a man down. Maybe a riskier play needed, and look at how BBL approached this. 3 players, a conga line moving towards the B site. There will be no untradeable kill offered up.
No command. Picked up by that plant for qRaxs. Doesn't seem like something he wants to utilize though. AtaKaptan's position should have been noted, but qRaxs looks for the swing, does a lot of damage onto LewN, but now there's nobody left on the site. They're both looking to pincer him behind a nasty surprise, but then an immediate use of the Nightfall. Is there going to be something to play off of this? That's the second time that we've seen MAGNUM throw it
short
in.
push.
Well, in from behind them, xeus is trying to really battle and brawl, create a disruption for the rest of the team to make it out of that smoke. This is such a peculiar round for them, but already Jamppi will be lost. qRaxs has only been downed, and xeus just striking once again. It leaves a 3 versus 5 in an attempt, and while xeus is not done, he wants a little more.
Spike planted.
LewN's moment to strike. He's found himself one, but down below at the logs is AtaKaptan. He won't make it away. That TP, near or far, he wasn't making it out. A 3 versus 3. Players all on site, stacked up. Salvos will clear out the back. Boathouse wide open, but the players were way ahead of that. A shot, but the wall gets in the way. yetujey still drawing breath. They'll deal with him. And sociablEE with the shorty. Got to look at that first half. A lot of problems for BBL in containing that information. On the defensive side, the push and pull was their downfall. Maybe the Sentinel was a problem for FUT. That won't be an issue. They were able to stack up one side of the map, and Sentinel is here as well. They've got numbers, boots on the ground, and the spike in the same position. It's down in the open. And this round, it's not looking likely to fall to BBL. This could be FUT's way to equalize early on. But Tom, last time they faced, it was the pistol, it was the follow-up on defense for FUT. And only 3 rounds from that point forward, BBL had a lot of momentum on the attack.
Luckily for both sides, they've had a million rounds to look back on. Can't always take everything at face value. That is a kill that definitely makes things a little bit more interesting, but with a player still towards A main and 2 sat underneath. It's not going to be easy to clear any of these remaining members. 30 seconds to try and find something here, hoping that maybe it gets revealed, but AtaKaptan's already going to catch one. It leaves MAGNUM with an impossible task. His position known, and only 18 seconds to play with. This pistol is going to go the way of
for xeus. as he's got himself that gate crash, and it will be used fairly soon as the pressure comes in, and yetujey only good for one.
Yeah, qRaxs is there, but the immediate response needs a little bit more, but look how low these players are already tagged. The SMG is becoming weaker, but what a shot from PROFEK. Straight through the smoke. That's something that BBL have to think about going into the future rounds. That Prowler didn't clear that close corner. We'll see if the damage is fatal.
So low on these players swinging, but that's why they're going in together. Getting ahead of the problem, leaving AtaKaptan all alone.
Now in the same spot we saw from PROFEK and LewN leading the charge.
LewN's the one to find one, but they have to clear AtaKaptan. Done well. Flash in from xeus, another to be found. We're level again, a 3 versus 3. The door closed and the plant enabled as a result. They're gonna wait now. Oh, not wait for yetujey. I thought he was coming short. I thought they'd group up and play this together, but of course that flank is gonna be wide open. Sometimes you'd worry about a turret, an alarm bot, but it's not in play. Instead, you have to worry about Jamppi. This machine is the one that's giving them the advantage. Now a tough position to fight from if yetujey doesn't get anything and he's been spotted. The element of surprise gone, and they were watching it anyways. Now in a high-low, Jamppi to be cleared from the close corner, but they've managed to win the fight. Here comes the big push. qRaxs left alone, and both up through middle. Prowler leading the way. Ultimate activated here by Jamppi, taking down all of this utility on the B side, stopping them from having any sort of flashes or initiation. They have to just swing dry into angles. xeus does well to find one. The trade outs have been there, but one player brought back from the dead. Jamppi down but not out. The player on site under so much pressure. yetujey! His side is secure by MrFaliN. And because of that, MAGNUM left in a 1v2. He's going to force the issue.
He's trying to bait them into thinking he's down on the site. Timing almost works out for him, but maybe gets a little bit nervous, dodges the paranoia.
8th round now for FUT, a gap of 2, and an early engagement for xeus.
Hero right yetujey's done quite regularly is take this deep control. It was something that caught BBL when they went there before. Instead, though, they're walking into his alarm bot. That's at least the information. The Nightfall's going to find nothing. They're definitely wary. And actually, LewN's taking a hell of a lot of damage. There is the pounce. And there is even Timmy the turret coming up with another. yetujey nowhere near the action, but they do have an advantage nonetheless.
The lockdown only further cements that. Boathouse still
forcing it back.
Look at the flank up, though, from AtaKaptan. Everybody going to be going towards the B side itself, taking that gap. This is the opportunity now for FUT, knowing everything else is clear. They've got them boxed in. Weaker weapons, no abilities to fall back on here. Jamppi spotted close, the shot not landing. And although MAGNUM gets
trying to sell the idea that he's around this angle, but an immediate gate crash out of position. Oh, almost caught. That was a little bit close for qRaxs. He will fall back to the side, but yetujey will take the damage for it. The left side completely sectioned off. He's being hit by every piece of utility, and a second player spam. xeus is there cooking up. That's 3 now. They've just decided the only way is through the walls. Don't let them see you.
That's one way to do it. Great reveal from MAGNUM to start it out, but from that point forward, a little bit ridiculous. AtaKaptan, previous events, and now that's been
always been there. They've always been competitive, and they've always been better than BBL. That has been a constant factor. But BBL are starting to have other ideas. Their new look roster, impressive. And while LewN already to these positions, BBL are going to be walking into a stack.
Flash ready for xeus. The swing on the back of it, but there'll be no flash. Not anymore. That knife hits perfectly. Sociable isolates qRaxs. Here comes xeus, but he's not the hero that they need. MrFaliN won't be either. All of the players from FUT have fallen except for yetujey to beating FUT. Doing it twice well. You can put look out of the equation.
That last time was incredibly close. This time it is looking just as similar. They are desperately trying to remove this gun from the hands of yetujey, but that are even remotely close. There's nothing that will pad the gap of those minor weaknesses, and once again they're going to attempt this split through B. yetujey realizing he has to move forward. Nowhere else for him to go, but he's found the gap that was needed. mentioning they'd need a hero, and he has come alive at the exact moment. xeus as well.
But the light has not gone out just yet. yetujey and xeus digging deep and sparking the flames out of their grasp. A quick play from BBL.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing. They split through, but this time they catch MrFaliN. They fight towards the spawn instead. LewN is going to go dashing in, trying to isolate xeus, and that's exactly what he's done. Winning that head-to-head again. 2 already to the good. 3 players stand, 2 of them at the back of the site. The other is AtaKaptan, and he's going to be the one under pressure, trying to fight forward against the full force of this squad. yetujey has found one, but it might be too little too late. That A site is completely under their control.
Spike planted.
Magnum was left behind on the switch. An attempt to finish this round early. He was taken out, but there's another snake in the grass. Hell, they're everywhere. sociablEE drops yetujey, and qRaxs now the last man standing. We talk about his KO, but this is too